So we finally made it to the #1 pick on the countdown, and thanks to everybody out there who's been following along. Been quite a journey over the last month. Lots obviously happened in my personal life in the last month since I started this countdown, but I'm glad to see that everybody's been enjoying it. New subscribers on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So thanks to everyone. We're going to keep the train rolling. Hopefully at some point in the next few months I'll do another daily pick countdown for a different topic. Although I plan on doing things a little differently, maybe in January, February, sticking to more just, one video here, one video there about a certain topic, top 5 this, top 10 that. So that should be exciting. Wish I was feeling better to celebrate this occasion, but got pretty sick, still sick. It's day number 5 now, I think. I don't even know. But anyway, we're keeping it going. I think a lot of you already know what the #1 pick is going to be. There's obviously a very big album I have not mentioned yet at all, not even shown on the TV behind me or anything like that. It was released in 1970 on Vertigo and Warner Bros. Yep, you all knew it was coming. Debut album from Black Sabbath. And what a debut this is. Although it may not technically be my favorite album on this list I put together. If I had to pick a favorite, I might say Floor, their self-titled debut album, just because that one's very special to me. Or maybe an album like Slipknot, because I've heard it so many times, or there's a few I might say I prefer listening to a little bit over this album. But I think this deserves to be the heavyweight champion of self-titled debut albums, simply because of how much this album shaped the evolution of music. I mean, it really changed music forever. I think even more so than Led Zeppelin's first album, because I think Led Zeppelin's first album, although it was very heavy, and a lot of people, rightfully look at Led Zeppelin 1 and 2 as the birth of metal, I think personally this album is really where metal is born, and every subgenre of metal really is born out of this album. Heavy metal, stoner metal, sludge metal, doom metal, it all starts here. Every song is perfect. Opening side, you start off with the title track, Black Sabbath. The iconic, spooky, scary Black Sabbath. My father said when he was growing up, he remembered when the album first came out in 1970, and he heard the song Black Sabbath, and it scared the shit out of him. Sounded like a bad acid trip to him, which makes sense. I'm sure when that song came out, there was nothing more terrifying than hearing the tritone and Ozzy Osbourne's blood-curdling cries for help, throughout it. Just an epic way to open, your band, essentially. And then you've got The Wizard, and, it's one of those songs where I'm not really a big fan of harmonica in a rock or metal song, but, The Wizard, along with, When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin is, an example of when it's done right, and it can really drive the song forward. Very cool song. Behind the Wall of Sleep, another heavy song. Got lots of cool twists in it, with the opening kind of having that 6/8 waltz feel to the drum beat, and then switching into a slower 4/4 beat. Very cool how they do that. NIB closing off the opening side, obviously legendary song. You know, heavy, bluesy, great melodies from Ozzy Osbourne, obviously. But then I think personally, the second side is the real gem of the album. And depends on which version you have, what the next song is. The UK version had Wicked World, US version had Evil Woman. I have the deluxe edition, which has both songs on it, you know, but for the opening side, the opening disc, it has the original UK version with Wicked World, which I prefer, because I think Wicked World is an awesome song. And then the part after that is, I think, the best moment on the whole record, which is Sleeping Village into Warning. So you have that nice soft acoustic guitar intro on Sleeping Village before kind of like this slow rock jam with, you know, Tony Iommi's doing the twin solos in either ear, which is really cool. And then the killer feedback leads right into Warning, which is like an 11-minute blues jam epic. Just one of the greatest, you know, closing tracks. The closing tracks on all four of those first four Sabbath albums are probably my favorite songs on those albums, you know. Fairies Wear Boots and Into the Void and Under the Sun, I think is the closer on Volume 4. And, you know, if we're allowed to count Sleeping Village Warning as one, essentially one whole, you know, song, just killer. I mean, you know, Tony Iommi shredding, you know, for like 7 minutes straight, basically, at the end there. Very cool. Just a perfect debut album. Yeah. What more do I need to say? And I mean, the album artwork too is just perfect. It captures the aesthetic and the sound of the music so well. So there it is. Number one pick. Also going to mention some honorable mentions in no particular order, really. Some that just barely missed the cut. Queen, obviously. Greenslade. Soulfly. Garbage. Rush. Blue Oyster Cult. Pretenders. Periphery. My beloved Lightning Bolt, you know, Weezer, Flyleaf, Time Requiem. I don't know if a lot of you guys know who that is. I think they're like from Finland, if I'm not mistaken. Progressive metal band, amazing keyboard playing. Sevendust, Dire Straits, Camel, Weather Report, Gentle Giant. That's really, you know, Bad Company, just to name a few. So yeah, there it is. Number one pick, Black Sabbath. Thanks for watching the show, and plenty of good stuff coming up later this month. Stay tuned.